Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Here is Mahmoud Abdesalam, and in today's tutorial and this series of tutorials I'm going to talk about one of the most important topic that still confuses a lot of Revit users, which is plan views and different plan views inside Revit, and why there is a different plan views, and what is a best use case for each plan view, and how the plan views are connected to the view range settings, and how to manipulate the view range settings to achieve the best visibility of your plan. And also some hidden settings inside the plan types that I'm going to talk about. All of this and more I'm going to cover in this series of tutorials. So make sure that you like, subscribe, and write in the comments what you think, or write also your inquiries, and I will be happy to answer it. So let's start. So inside Revit we have like 5 plan views, 3 main and 3 major and 2 minor. And you can see the plan views inside Revit from the View tab, and then here you click on Plan Views. We have here 5 plan views, 3 major, which is the floor plan, reflecting ceiling plan, and the structure plan. And then we have the plan region and the area plan. I call it as minor plan views. I will talk about each one of these. Not much about the area plan right now, but I will tell you also what is this and what is the use case for the area plan. And let's start with the first one, which is the floor plan. So the floor plan, it's about looking down. Most of the time we use a floor plan to cut your level and then you look down. And we use it mainly for the architectural drawings or any kind of drawings that will requires that the view direction to be looking downward. So this is the case when we are using the floor plan. The floor plan cannot be used when you want to cut and look upward. So if you want to cut and look upward, you have 2 options. You can use a structure plan or the reflected ceiling plan. The difference between the reflected ceiling plan and the structure plan is what you can see actually in each one of those. If you want to see the lighting fixtures, for example, which is usually, or most of the time, it's hang to the ceiling. So you will use the reflected ceiling plan. But if you use the structure plan, however, also the structure plan direction is upward, actually, you can also use a structure plan looking downward, and I'm going to explain this in a moment. But if you use a structural plan to see the lighting fixtures, for example, it's not going to work. Those elements, the lightings, for example, are not going to be shown even if they are on your view range. So you have to know exactly what you want to show in your plan, and according to that you decide which one of those you are going to use. So the reflected ceiling plan usually are used to see the ceilings or anything connected to the ceilings, or when you have like a false ceiling, for example, you also using the reflecting ceiling plan to show it. And also it's been used from the MEB engineers to show their pipes or like cables or whatever. They also using the reflected ceiling plan. Then we are talking about the structure plan. And the structure plan, as I told you, it's the only view that has 2 options, or that have the parameter that can change the direction of, or the view direction of your plan. Let's go to one of the structural plans here, this one for example, and I will click edit type. And in edit type menu, you can see this external or this parameter, which is the view direction, and it's set to be up, and you can always change it to look down. Most of the cases, or 90% of the structural drawings, we look up, but there are some drawings that we will have to look down, which, for example, the foundations. In the foundation is a structural drawings, but you have to look down to be able to see it. The foundation, or also sometimes some other drawings, you will have to look down. So that's why the structural plan has this parameter that you can change anytime. This parameter is not doesn't exist by other plan views like the floor plan or the reflected ceiling plans. So this you have to keep in mind when you are creating any plan views. And the structural plan mainly it's about the structural element like foundations, walls. Also, you can see the architectural elements also in the structural plan, but mainly the main purpose for the structural plan is, or the priority in the structural plan is usually for the structural elements like foundation, columns, and beams, which is structure framing here in Revit. So this is the use case for the structure plan. And then the plan region, which is one of the minor plan views. We can use plan region when you want to apply specific view range for a specific area in your plan. Let's go to the ground floor, for example, here. And let's just click on it on the plan views because it's not active in the 3D. And as you can see in this small GIF, here, for example, he wanted to show the windows, which was a bit down of your view range for the whole plan view. So he applied different view range for only the area that the windows exist, only for this area. So you don't have to change the settings for the all plan, just you change the settings for this specific area. So this is the use case for the plan region. The area plan, usually we use it for the area studies from the mainly the architectural engineers. They are used the area plan to plan the areas inside their building and see what is the usable area and the buildings area and so on. All of those options we can see and create in the area plan. I will give you a small example at the end. So those are the different plan views and the different use case for each one of them. In the next tutorial, I will show you how to create a plan view and how to manipulate the view range at each one of them and what is the difference between one of them relating to the view ranges settings. How you can create a plan view. So the first step is that you need to create levels, or you need to have levels inside your project so you will be able to create plan views. Any plan view in the project must be associated to a level in your project. But the vice versa is not necessary, which means that you can create levels. How many do you want? And those levels are not associated to any plan views. Like, for example, right now, I don't have any levels. I don't have any views inside my project. I have only the side view. But I have 3 levels. The first thing you notice is that one of those levels have a different color. One appear in blues and the rest appear in black. Why? This color means that this level is associated to a plan view, which is here the site. If I go to the site and I clicked on edit type, sorry, on view range, I will have here that I will see that this plan or this side view is associated to the basement level. That's why I have this site in I have this level in a different color. What happens if I deleted the site? The color changes. Okay, let's just hit back. And let's start with the basic one. Let's create floor plans from each one of them. I want to create a floor plan for the basement and also a floor plan for the ground. For the first, I don't need because there is nothing above. I just want to create two floor plans here. So we go to view and we go to plan view and we click on floor plan. You will have this list. It shows you all of the levels inside your project that is not or that are not associated to any plan view. Okay, to any floor plan view, it's very important because now I clicked on floor plan. Okay, so I'll just tell him that I want to create one for the ground and click OK. So if I open the floor plan, I will have here one called ground and one called site. But I don't have one called basement. However, I open here floor plans and it doesn't show the basement, which is a bit tricky right now. Why? Because the basement is already in use in the site. He identifies that the site is associated to the basement level, and now it cannot show you the basement as a floor plan. So what can I do? Simply uncheck this one, and here you can see all of the levels again. The default this will be checked, and I advise you to check this, especially when you have a lot of levels in your project. But in this case, and it's a special case, you can uncheck and you can create a basement floor plan as well from here. Okay. Now let's create the same but a structure plan. So when you go to the north, I want to create a structure plan, one for the foundation, one for this basement ceiling or basement floor here. I want to cut and look up, and also one here for the ground ceiling. I want to cut and look up. So one, which means I will create one for the basement looking down, one for the ground looking up, one for the one for the basement looking down, and one for the basement looking up, and one for the ground looking up. Okay, so you go to plan views, here structural plan, and one for the basement you said. Okay, let's create one for the basement and one for the ground, and click OK. And let's go again and structure plan and uncheck this one and create another one for the basement and click on edit type before you create it. Why? Because this one will be for the foundations, and for the foundation I need the view direction to look down. So I will click duplicate and I will here structure plan foundation. Okay, or FON. And click OK and change this parameter to look down and click OK. So now he will create this plan view, but according to this type. It's structural plan, but the parameter of the view direction is down. And click OK. So now I created this only to see the foundation. I'll just go one by one, but in a few minutes. Now let's finish what we started, which is creating plan views also for the reflected ceiling plan. Before creating this, let's go to the north, and I want to show you why I want to create a reflected ceiling plan. Like for example here, this is basement. I don't have anything in the ceiling. So I will create just a reflected ceiling plan from the ground floor, because here I have some lighting, some also false ceilings and so on. So I want to create a ceiling plan only for this floor. So I'll just go to, as I told you, go to view, then you go to plan view, reflected ceiling plan this time, and let's click on the ground floor. Click OK. So I created ceiling plan for the ground floor. Let's close everything. Let's have a look here. So you have a structure plans. Actually, you have two types of the structure plan. One called basement. One called FON, because this is a new type that I created. And you have also 3 floor plans, and you have 1 ceiling plan. Actually, those are the plans that we are creating. Let's go to them one by one and explain more about the view range. And you will see that the view range settings will slightly be different from one to one. First, let's go to the floor plan, which is a basic one. Let's go to the ground floor. I'll just make it a header line. Fine. Okay. So now let's click on view range. Okay. And let's explain a bit in general, and then we are going to the view range settings in each one of those floor plans. So the first thing is the cut plan, and this is the basic. Cut plan should be always associated to the level that you're working with, and should also have an offset. If it's identical to the floor plan that you're working with, you will never see anything. So you have to set an offset. You have to cut in the middle of the floor or a bit higher than the floor, whatever. It depends on the case. So you will be able to see the doors, windows, and the furniture and so on. So this, you can set an offset here. Plus value means that always on the top of or the direction will be up. So here we have the cut plan from the ground level going up by 1 meter 20. If we have take a look in the section here, so this is my cut plan, okay? And I cut and I look down. In the floor plan, I cut and look down because I want to see the floors, doors, window floors, and so on. But why here I have, let's go back to this is the floor plan. Let's go to the view range again. Why I have here a top? And this is also confusing for so many people. Why by the floor plan I always have a top value? And you think that it doesn't affect anything. You just neglect it, okay? Set it above this line and neglect it. And actually this line here is the top floor. The first hint is, yes, you cannot set it below because let's set it 100. Okay, so it's 10 centimeter below this one. Click apply, it will give me an error. So this top line should be always on top of the cut plan. Okay, so I'll just hit it back. But why I have a top? I cut and look down. Why do I have a top? Because you can look up and down. It's the only floor or it's only plan view that can look up and down in the same time, which means that, and actually you can see it here. I see here the lighting fixtures. However, it's a floor plan. I'm cutting and looking down, but I see the lighting fixture. Why? Because I'm looking up in the same time. This is the only plan view that can look up and down in the same time. This is why you have here a top level. For example, if I don't want to see the lightings here, so Basically, I will bring this down a bit, maybe a bit, I will set it a bit higher than this one and click apply. So it disappeared. This is why I have here a top and bottom, but you should be also careful. Now I have seen the lighting fixtures, okay, because it has been set. Let's copy this one, or yeah, I'll copy it. I think it was here, right? But why I don't see the ceiling? This is a top line. Why I don't see the ceiling? I have here the false ceiling, as you can see. Why I cannot see it? Let's try to bring this a bit higher, okay? So I will go to the ground floor again. Let's close this one and click view range, edit. Let's give it an offset. Click apply. Okay, cannot see it. Okay, maybe a bit higher. 3 meter. Apply. Okay, cannot see it. Why? And that's what makes a lot of people always confused about the view range. That they always adjust the view range according to their understanding, and they are still not seeing their elements. So that makes a problem, and they made them don't understand the concept. Why here I cannot see the ceiling? Because this is a floor plan, and that's what I talked about in the beginning. Some elements, even if they are within your view range, will appear or not appear depending on the plan view that you're working with. The ceiling will appear only if you have a reflected ceiling plan or if you have even structural plan. Why? Because the view direction default is looking up. This one is looking up, but it doesn't show everything. It shows you only the element that they thought this will be helpful for you. Okay? So in this case, maybe the lightings, to know where the lights is important while you're working with the architectural drawing. So that's why you can see only the lighting, but not the ceiling, because the ceiling are going to be confusing for you, or it's not related to the architectural drawing that you're working with. It has been set, those priorities. It's, I would say, a hidden settings inside the Revit itself, which is so many people that don't know about. There is another hidden settings in the structure plan or in the floor plans as well, or structure plans even, which is the priority for the structural element, which I will talk about later because I want now to focus only on the view range settings. Okay, let's go back to the view range. I will set this back to 200. Let's say that I don't want to see the lighting, so I'll just set it to 130 above, a little bit above the cut plan, because I don't want to see anything. I am not interested to see any other elements. Okay. Now we are coming to the bottom, which is also important. Why? Because this sets the limit for your view range. What is the bottom level of your plan? In this case, I want to see only until this one, okay? This line will be my bottom. So I will set the bottom to be the associated level, and then I will not give it any offset. Why? Because I want it to be identical to this floor. Maybe you give it a little bit of offset if you want. What if I don't want to, maybe I don't want to see anything. I don't want to see the floor. Let's give it plus 100 and click apply. Click OK. And here is, I will give you a question and I will not answer it now. You just try to answer it by yourself, but I will answer it in the later videos. I set the value to be 100, right? 100 above the level, which if I want there, here the ground, and I set this to be 100 above, and that means that the level will be, or the view range will be between this line and 100 from this line, which means that I shouldn't see the floor. But however, I still see the floor. Why I still see the floor? This is a question for you, and I will answer in the next tutorial. Now let's just hit back and give it 0. Click apply. And let's keep talking about the view range. So top, cut, bottom, it's fine. Why there's something called view depths? What is this actually? Actually, this is the real bottom of your view range. So people think that this is only the view range. This is actually the primary view range. But the secondary view range is still below this level, only if you want. It's an optional. So if you want to see below, you set this view depth below your associated level. So let's give it minus 500 and click apply. I see now some dotted line, and actually those dotted line are the structural framing or the beams below those walls. That's why now I can see them. I see them as dotted, of course, because they are covered, but I can see them. Why? Because I made the view range or the view depths even below. If I don't want to see anything below my floor level, I have to set this option or to this offset to be identical to my bottom line. Okay, and it cannot be above. Let's give it 500. It doesn't make any sense that this line to be atop of this line. It doesn't make any sense. So even equal to it or below it. Okay. Okay. Another hint. Anything that hits the cut plan will appear in solid or will appear in thick lines. But anything is not cutting the plan, this cut plan will appear in thin lines. Let's click OK and take a look. The first thing you notice is the walls are in thick lines, but here the furniture, for example, are in thin lines. Why? Because the walls are in the cutting plan level. So this also another hint for you. In the next video, I will show you now the other plan views and the different settings in the view range. And they are not so much different, but they are slightly different. And there are also some hidden settings that I want to talk about that still confuses so many users. And they think it's bug inside Revit, but actually it's not. It's a hidden settings. And I will talk about it. All of this and more in the next tutorial. So stay tuned, like, subscribe, and comment. See you.